You see, central bank has been fixing the exchange rate for the last 2 years. This is why we have a dollar shortage. I'm in business and I know. And we have talked about this thing for the last 2 years. In fact, if there is anyone who has screwed up the economy of this country, is the central bank government. Frankly. Because when you don't have dollars, what is happening is that people then start looking for, it's in short supply, then the rate goes up. Today we have two rates. There's an official one that the government says is the official rate. It's been at, when it is at 122, the unofficial in the bank, if you go and buy, you're charged 130. The official one has gone even up to 140, 145. They'll tell you the official one is at 120 something, 130. The reason is because the central bank has been trying to protect government because of the external debt. You see, when you have $40 billion in external debt, every shilling then the value increases by 40 billion. And because of the protecting government, they have made the cost of living worse in this country. Because we are now buying all businesses. If you're an importer and you're looking for hundreds of thousands of dollars, or millions, those are companies looking for millions of dollars. I mean, they're buying at 140, 139, 140. It even went up to 145. And then central bank tells you, no, the official rate is 128, 130, just because they want to keep the exchange rate low. But that effect is making the cost of goods very expensive because everybody has to buy at a very expensive. There's no dollars. Central bank has mentioned many times that the money is there in the country, but exporters don't want to release it because why do I, as an exporter, let my money be sold to a bank at 129 when tomorrow if I need it, I'll be forced to buy at 140. So this dual exchange rate policy that central bank has put in place has really had a very adverse effect on the economy. What they need to do is, this thing, let's avoid this dual exchange. Let us have free, the way the policy is. What will happen is, initially there will be a jump. Government debt will go up, but dollar availability shortage will disappear. Dollar will be available. And I'm telling you that availability will make things easy, businesses easy. Today, many businesses are struggling to get dollars. We spend a lot of time trying to get dollars, from banks.
So how do the banks fix that rate?
It's not the banks, it's the central bank. Banks are required by central bank to buy at the rate that they publish as the official central bank rate. You cannot as a bank. So if I am an exporter and I have $100,000 in my account, I can only sell it to the bank, my commercial bank, at the rate which central bank published, which is at 129, 130. But if I want to now, as a businessman, tomorrow buy for my import, and from the same bank will sell it to me at 140. And we have seen how banks have made billions of shillings in the last 2 years.
That's what I'm asking. How
and the spread, has gone.
That selling
huge
price?
Spread.
How do they fix that selling price themselves as the commercial banks?
They have, for them it is demand.
Demand and supply.
I mean, it's demand and supply. So, central bank has allowed them, as far as selling is concerned, do what you want. But when you're buying, stick to this. So this is the duplicity that the government, and the government knows this is happening. And we have talked about it. They have talked about the huge spread between what officially, the banks are buying at and what you have to buy at. And this is hurting the economy. I think, look, public debt is with us. There is nothing you can do about it. But I think you cannot also mess up other parts of the economy because of, and the reason, of course, is, Mheshimiwa, our exports have been dwindling. This is one part of the reason she mentioned, which is global. Our exports have been going down. There's no tourism since Corona started. The tourism has gone down significantly. The economy, the depressed economies in Europe also means less of our exports, particularly in horticulture and tea and all those things. So the inflow is very limited. At the same time, the imports have really gone up because the prices of oil, of food, and all other things we're importing, everything, metal, everything has gone up globally, and so we're paying twice as much today to import the same quantity of goods as we were in 2019. And so the demand for dollar is partly created also by that. So but it's not only every country. You go to Uganda here, the shilling is doing very well. Go to Tanzania, it's doing very well. Ours is because of the debt and because of what the central bank guy has done. But the debt issue, let me tell you, is not because we don't have resources. We are collecting more money than all these other 5 countries in East Africa put together.
Combined.
But when it comes to spending, we are a disaster.
That's where you get it.
And that's where our problem is.